Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne's Stampin' Up. Welcome to another card making day. I'm an independent demonstrator here in Simcoe, Ontario, and if you don't have your own demonstrator and you live in Canada, you can shop with me. You can reach me at stampsandtea@gmail.com, or my demonstrator website is stampsandtea.stampinup.net. So as I say, welcome everybody. We are at the end, this is the very last day I believe, for the June to December mini catalogue. But we have a new catalogue which starts on January the 5th, and Celebration also starts on January 5th. So here we are everybody, we have two new catalogues. As I say, this one is the January to April mini catalogue. I believe it goes to May the 1st, and this is the Celebration catalogue. This is my first video of the new year, and it's also celebration time. There's lots of nice items in the Celebration catalogue. You can request any of these items from the Celebration catalogue as a free gift if you spend $60 Canadian in any of the other catalogues. You can mix and match. You could have $30 from the annual catalogue and $30 from the mini. You can mix and match, and you can pick your free gift from Celebration. They're all nice items, and I'm going to show you a couple of them. Okay, this item here, Adorable Owls, the Adorable Owls stamp set, is free. It's a free stamp set you can choose if you spend $60, as I say, in a mixture of any catalogues. The Stitched So Sweetly dies that we're going to use today, they are older dies, but you know, you don't have to have everything new right away. You can mix the old with the new. This paper here we used at our last card making day. It was it's called Dainty Flowers, and it's another beautiful free item. Lots of nice papers, and we're going to use part of one of those today. This one here is a beautiful botanical print, has the gorgeous leaves, different sorts of leaves on it. The back is a fresh freesia, which is one of the in colours, and it's just got little polka dots, little dots on there, but it makes for a nice card. I have some fresh freesia for my card base, and it's of course 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I've got my first mat, which is Blackberry Bliss. Now Blackberry Bliss is not a colour I use very often, but we're going to use Blackberry Bliss today for a mat. We've got that mat there is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, because I just want the tiniest of border around the side, so it's about a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. You can just see it if I turn the card, you can see the different colours there. We've got an envelope, of course. We've got a piece of Whisper White or Basic White. It's probably a card front size, 5.5 by 4 1/4, which we're going to stamp the owl and the sentiment on. We've got a piece that's 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 for the inside of the card. We've got the back of the beautiful botanical DSP, and we're going to put that down. That piece there is 5 1/4 by 4. Then we've got a couple of pieces. We've got some Blackberry Bliss 1 3/4 by 4 1/8, and DSP to match, which is 1 5/8, which is 4 by 1 5/8, and it's gonna sit like that. We got a piece of ribbon to make a bow. We got some gems. We have some alcohol markers which we're going to use to colour in. Light and dark crumb cake, the darker shade of Daffodil Delight, and the lighter shade of Fresh Freesia. And that's all we're going to colour with. And we've got a memento, a black memento ink pad. Okay, we're going to stamp on the envelope. Let's get some organisation going here. We're going to do the stamping first, because that's probably the biggest part of the job. Now on here I'm going to stamp my owl and my sentiment, and then I'm going to cut them out using the Stitched So Sweetly dies. I'm going to put a little owl just on the end of the envelope, on the corner of the envelope. So let me get my stamp pad open here, right there. And I've got my owl here, which I'm going to stamp, and he's a birthday owl. He's got a birthday party hat on. I'm just going to stamp that really well in the Memento ink. Pop him on the card in about the middle from top to bottom, but not the middle going sideways, but because we need enough room to cut him out using the dies. Then we've got a sentiment for the front. Now this sentiment here, I'm going to use two. I'm going to put two together. The one says, "Hoot hoot, you're so cute." I'm going to blank off the "you're so cute" on the bottom. I don't want to use that. I just want to use the hoot hoot portion of it. There's two ways to do this. I could use a post-it note and try to blank off the "you're so cute." I'm going to stamp this, ink this stamp, and then just wipe the bottom and hope I can do it nicely. So we got lots of ink on there, and I'm just going to take baby wipe and wipe the bottom of the stamp. Dry it off with my finger. I just wiped it with a baby wipe. I'm sort of going to just put my thumb over that just to take the moisture off. Huff on the stamp, and I'm going to turn my card this way so I've got lots of room to stamp. So it says "hoot hoot." Nice. The other one says "my friend." So it says on the front of the card, it's going to say "hoot hoot, my friend." Again in Memento black. Yep. Hoot hoot. My friend. There, we're going to cut those out using the dies, but we're going to stamp the inside and we're going to stamp the envelope, and the inside is going to say "It's your day," and these are all stamps from the same stamp set. I'm just inking that "It's your day" up. We're just going to pop it in the middle of the card like that. Put it to one side. And we're going to stamp the owl on the envelope just to decorate it up a little bit. We can put them just like that. And that's it for stamping. That's all the stamping we have to do. So now, let me get the lid on this. Okay, so now we're going to cut out these two parts, and we're just going to see which dies fit. When I count my dies, I always, when they're all the same shape, I always count from the outside in. So it's 1, 2, it's die number 3 that's going to cut the owl out. Whoops. Stack together like that. Yep, that will do for the owl. And then die number 4, is it 4? No, 5, for the "hoot hoot, my friend." And I'm just taping these down so they don't move when I'm running them through the Big Shot or the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now the "hoot hoot, my friend," I'm not going to center the die over that. I'm going to put it so that the wording is to the right, because I'm going to put a little bow here on the left hand side. So we'll try and make that straight. And I have to cut this piece of card in half so that I can use my mini cut and emboss machine. Okay, and it's here, and I've got plates number 1 and 2 of plate number 2. And we're just going to cut the two parts out. We might even get them on this. No, I don't think we will. We'll do them one at a time. So there's my sentiment cut out. Put my die right back on my magnetic sheet, and we've got an owl to cut out here. We'll do the same thing again. Stagger the plates as we put them into the machine so that the rollers can roll up onto the plates, and it's not like you're trying to jump the rollers up over a doorstep. So there we have our stamped images. Put that on there. Just set that off to the side. Plates out of the way. So we've got these pieces. We've got this for the inside. I'm going to quickly colour the owl. Now, these are alcohol markers, and you know that the alcohol tends to seep through, so you would see it on the back of your card. So instead of doing it just on my tabletop, I'm going to put this on my foam mat, because I know I can wash the foam mat really easily if I have to. And we're just going to quickly colour the owl. This is light crumb cake, and I'm going to colour the owl in. Let me think. Okay. That's the dark part, this is the light part. Am I right? Am I right? This is the light part, yes. And I'm just going to do this quickly. It doesn't, like, the ink does not run, the alcohol ink doesn't run, but it does bleed just a little bit, so you tend to just leave a little, like a hair's width of a white border. You know, to the edge of your colouring. If the ink doesn't soak over to that, then you can always, you know, go back and touch it up. And I'm just going over this quickly here. I should have had another owl cut out and coloured, that would have been a help. But I just want you to see how quickly this is. So that's his sort of part of his head. I'm going to do his body in the same colour. His little wings there. Same colour. And I've got some dark crumb cake that I'm going to use to colour the other parts of the owl in. We'll colour his hat in. And his feet. There, I think. Yeah, let's do his. So we've used light. This is dark crumb cake. And we're going to colour the rest of them in using the dark. And it really doesn't take very long to do, you know. Just a few minutes. And you know, I know there are demonstrators who say, oh, you have to go, you know, you go over with your light and you go over with your dark, and then you have to go over with your light to blend them in. But on something like this, I really don't think you need to do that. It's all well defined parts, so I don't think there's a lot of blending of the colours needed here. I'm going to colour his little eyes in. That's all we need for the owl. We've got some light fresh freesia here. We're going to colour his hat in, his birthday hat. We're going to give him a little purple beak just because we can. And then we've got some dark daffodil, get the right end, yeah, dark daffodil delight, just for a little bit of added colour. There, and that's all we're going to colour. That's all we need to do for that little owl right there. And he looks cute. Alright, so let's put this card together then. So we have your basic card base, we have the piece for the inside. Do I have a tape runner? I'm just going to put this on the inside of the card. You got about 1/2 inch all the way around, I think. Just line that up like that. That's the inside done. So then we're going to line up some mats on the outside. We've got the Blackberry Bliss here. And as I say, we've only got about a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. So before you press it down, just have a quick look. There. Then we've got a piece of DSP, which again will have about a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. There. This piece is going to go on here like this. And keeping the measurements the same, we've got about a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. There. This is going to go on the front of the card. Now we've got these two pieces as well. So if I put this right in the center, which would sort of make sense, haven't got a lot of room for my sentiment. So I'm going to put this just about an inch from the bottom of the card, like that, a scant inch, and this will go over top like that. That's how I'm going to do it. So as I say, let me make sure how I'm going. I've got the card the right way up. This is going to go about an inch from the top of the card, from the bottom of the card. A scant inch. It's not quite an inch. It might be just, it's between 3/4 and a whole inch. This piece is going to go down here, and I'm going to pop it up on some dimensionals. Oops. Set them sort of about there, in the middle of the card. Give them a little pull and make them straight. There we go. And we've got this sentiment here, which again we're going to put up on a couple of dimensionals. We're just going to put that on an angle at the top of the card. Just like that. There. And we've got a piece of Blackberry Bliss ribbon. Now this Blackberry Bliss ribbon is really old. I couldn't tell you how many years I've had it. It's probably not, not 10 years old, but I've certainly had it for several years. And it's about a 1/2 inch wide, so I cut it in half. And I'm just going to make a loose bow like that, 2 rabbit ears. Tuck that through there, pull these, make my loops about the same size. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I've got a couple of threads here that I'm just going to snip off just so they're not in the way. Trim the edges of my ribbon. There. Find a glue dot for this. There's a glue dot. there. And I'm just going to set this on the corner here, like that. And I've got some little, these are in colour, 2021 to 23, in colour jewels, and they have the fresh freesia in there. So I'm just going to stick 2 or 3 on the front of the card. One, oh, 2, and I'm using my picker tool to do this. Picker, is that what it's called? Picker tool? Yeah, picker tool. And I'm using it because it really does. You can take the point on the pick tool and just sort of push it underneath the gems, and you get the adhesive picked up with them. And there it is. There's the finished card. The gems went on nicely. The Hoot Hoot My Friend is there. It says inside, it's your day. There it is, one lovely little card. So let me just turn the camera up. So there it is, one quick card and an envelope to match. Stamp the owl on the envelope, and that's the Adorable Owls from the Celebration catalogue, which begins on January 5th. If you want to copy and share, please do so. Just see where you saw the design made and credit where credit's due. And if you sell your cards, please put the Stampin' Up! Angel stamp on the back of the cards to say everything used was a Stampin' Up! Supply. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week. Bye.